Well, we got our rat rod done, and I'm gonna be honest with you, luckily nobody got killed in this little situation. Am I right, Charlie?
Yep.
This was very, very dangerous and very, very nightmarish. Who the fuck is pulling in my shop now? Hang on right there. Alright. Okay. Now, we had a guy that had a 79 Mustang for sale, but he thought it was a 69. I had to refresh his memory that 79 and 69 aren't the same car. Okay, so what Charlie had to do is he went back and he bolted everything on there very tight. Am I right, Charlie?
Yep.
Can you talk with me or do something?
Yep. Got it all bolted up.
Okay.
Nice and tight.
I'm sorry, what's that, bud?
I got it all bolted up nice and tight. Checked it twice.
What did you do on the frame, bud?
On the frame,
Yeah.
checked the frame to make sure the welds look good. Check the bolts from the back, make sure all the bolts look tight.
Yeah. Why did we do that, bud?
Huh?
Why did we do that? Why did I tell you to do all that, Charlie?
Because this guy is not a mechanic.
This guy is not a mechanic. This guy is a tattoo artist that bought a car, okay, and did some shit to it and has a hard head and doesn't listen to people, okay? And when you have a hard fucking head and don't listen to people and take their advice, what happens, Charlie? Your steering box falls off and almost kills you. Luckily that happened on a side road, not on the fucking highway. Luckily, his two beautiful kids weren't in the car with him when it happened on the highway. Now, let's get a good look at what we did. We'll check it out. And Minnie just pulled up, but she won't be coming out and talking to us. Okay, thank you very much, Charlie. Did a great. What did you do to the wheel? Why you got the wheel off here, dude? What happened?
I had to tighten the wheel bearing up.
But what happened to that wheel bearing? Because this is another example of an aftermarket part. Now this is an aftermarket brake setup that tattoo guy Chris bought and put on here. But what happened, dude?
The pin going through it wouldn't hold the nut tight.
The pin that went through, okay, why don't you get a little action here? Take that cap off right now. Get over here. What's up, boy? Okay, now, what the situation was is when we jacked the car up in the air and I checked this wheel, because I always check wheels when I'm in the air. And this wheel was very loose. Look at that, he burned his. Look at that, see how shiny that brake drum is?
Yeah.
Okay, those, yeah, that's not good, dude. Crystallized. That's the word I was looking for. He needs to have those turned if he wants those brakes to work proper. Okay, so if you look at the pin right here, Bruno, go see if he's outside. If he is, let him in the office. So if you look at the pin right here, the safety pin, Carter pin, whatever, you can see that it goes through the nut. That's what it's supposed to do. But being aftermarket that this is, what happened is when we opened this up, we saw that this nut was all the way back in there. Okay, that means that the shaft was either too long, the nut was too short, this, that, or the other. So what we had to do, we had to go buy a nut and washer set to compensate. Where's my dog at?
He's in the office.
To compensate, so I had to buy a nut and a washer set, but we only had to use the washer on that. If you look right here, okay? So we had to double up on our washers, then tighten this down because the Carter key was not drilled out far enough to catch it. So that's another item that you might watch for because that's another dangerous situation. Yeah. It's always very important to watch your front end. So what we did, we went ahead and welded this on here. If you look right here, and we came down here and welded this, and I welded it up in here and over here and up there, and so I think that's permanently on there now. We didn't get paid to fucking paint it black, So he got gray paint. If he wants it black, he can go buy a can. What do you think of that, Charlie?
Sounds good.
Step back on there, bud. Okay, Charlie went ahead and he checked all these links, made sure everything is super tight. Am I right, Charlie?
Yep.
Because being a Mr. Not a mechanic guy when he did this, and Mr. Not a welder guy with his little 110 welder, that's a good example out there. Okay, 110 welders will not weld this type of steel. Look how thick that steel is. Okay, that's some thick steel, bud. 110 welders are not gonna weld that. The welder that he has, okay, it's a universal welder made by Hobart. And what it does is you can actually hook it up to 220 or 110. Well, I told him when he bought the welder that he needs to hook it up to 220 volt to give it a higher amperage welding situation like we have here. But no, he doesn't listen to nobody, so he didn't do that. So he fucked himself again. Or almost did. Anyway, you get the picture. So, we did a good job. Charlie did a good job. He took that all apart. Now you can see that it's all hanging proper, and it looks good up in there. Let me see there. There you go. Okay. This is like a half rack, you know, half rack and pinion type deal that, there it is right there. See, all the way across. Okay, there's what we're talking about right there. You see that? It's pretty dangerous shit, bud.
Yeah.
Okay, did you do a good job, Charlie?
Yeah.
You fucking better now. Alright? Now, get that fucking wheel back on there. Let's get it jacked down, and I'm gonna test drive it, okay?
Okay.
Can I test drive that hot rod? Can I do that? Okay, can Hot Rod Pete, my friend Pete, Last Chance Pete, did you see? Let me explain something to you, Charlie. Do you see why I say Last Chance Pete now? Do you see the situation?
Yeah.
That's why Last Chance Pete is here. Because once it leaves here, it's fucking done, bud. It's the last chance. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you learning anything working here, Charlie?
Yeah.
Maybe one day they might call you Last Chance Charlie.
Maybe.
Come get my scrap iron and get the fuck out of here. All right, we'll see you later. This is Pete. I'm gonna take you for a test drive, and we'll see what happens. Of course, Chris welded his frame up here. He definitely said check the frame where the gas tank was. Did you check that? It looked like a good weld? Okay. Out of here, son. There you go. One more job. Ay caramba, motherfucker. Ooh, my shoulder on that fucking thing. One more job done. One more safe job done. Okay? No one's gonna get killed today. No one's gonna go home crying today. Okay? That is related to this vehicle. It's done. It rides good. It steers good. Everything's bolted on right now. You know, it's got a few little issues on it, Charlie. But other than that, it's done. It's fucking done. Do you even see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Did you check all these joints to make sure all this shit was tight?
Yep.
You did?
Yep. Checked everything.
Okay. Get a little interview with Chris. And when we do that, we'll see how much whining he has to do. Turn it off, Charlie.